and welcome to the Third and Long podcast. I'm your host, Mason Rooney, joined by some weirdo named Cody. Say hello, Cody.
Oh,
Thank you. Today
took you very literal there, man.
thank you. Uh, we have a packed show for you today. We're going over our season predictions and looking forward to the return of Sunday football. So let's get started, shall we?
Yes, sir.
All right, so we're just going to go down each division, briefly talk about each division and who we have winning. Shouldn't take too long. We'll talk about if we have any disagreements, because I don't want to spend too much time on the things we kind of agree on. So, starting with the AFC North, which is probably the best division in the AFC. Who do you have? Who do you have winning that division, Cody?
I personally have the Cleveland Browns won 14-3.
14-3. God.
Yeah, man. I think Baker's gonna take that next step. I told you before. I mean, he's gonna take that next step. He's gonna find a way to actually integrate OBJ into the offense, something he struggled with before. And I think they're gonna be real good this year.
Well, all right. I personally have the Ravens winning the division. I just think I know it's a good thing we did it today and not Thursday, because, boy, I don't know about you, but that mass running back injury they have out there, it is worrisome.
Out there.
Yeah, it is worrisome, but like they are still a good team. As long as Lamar doesn't get hurt, they should be competing for the AFC North title.
And I mean, once they get Le'Veon Bell and Latavius Murray up to speed into the offense, it should fare well for them. I mean, these guys won't hurt your team.
They shouldn't. We didn't talk about the Steelers for winning this division. They won it last year, starting 11-0, and then something happened where they just dropped. Was it like 3 games in a row or something last year?
Yeah, something like that to close out the year. Yeah.
What do you have them going?
I have them going 7-10. I don't think Big Ben's gonna be all that effective with the season consistently. And I mean, Chase Claypool, he'll probably be the number 1 receiver this year. I think Juju's gonna slowly regress as well. He's more worried about other things than he is worried about playing football. And I mean, on that defense, you're still going to have TJ Watt step onto it. I mean, you're going to have some big guys in that defense.
Yeah, I also have them going 7-10. So I'll just keep this brief. I like their defense, but that's about it. They lost a lot of offensive line pieces, and I don't believe that Ben is going to get any better.
No.
So,
like I said, his best days are behind him.
Yeah, clearly. And the Bengals. What were you gonna say?
Said TJ and Minka are gonna win them games single-handedly just by playing good D.
Yeah, that's the only reason you would think the Steelers would win anything, really.
Oh, absolutely.
And on to the Bengals.
4-13, baby.
All right, I have them 3-14. They're gonna be pretty bad still. Still rebuilding. Joey's coming off of major knee surgery, so they shouldn't really be trying to win now. The best defensive piece, the best player on the team is Jesse Bates, and he alone is not going to be able to win you games, unfortunately.
No, and they still have Geno Atkins and Dunlop down there, or did they get cut this year?
No, Geno is a free agent, I believe. Or he signed with the Raiders, and Carlos Dunlap got traded midway last year to the Seahawks.
Jeez, shows how much I pay attention to the Bengals.
I know. But who pays attention to the Bengals?
But no, I mean, to start the year, they have injury concerns already in the secondary with Trey Waynes not playing week 1. Joe Burrow, I mean, from what I've heard and what I've read, he doesn't fully entrust that his knee can withstand football.
I mean, didn't he tear everything in his knee? It was like ACL, MCL.
Sure. I'm not 100% sure, but I do know that there's some mind games going on over there for Mr. Joe Burrow. And Jamar Chase hasn't looked that sharp quite yet. I mean, Hopefully, he can start
I don't think
finding
he
the
caught a
lace.
single pass in preseason.
Hopefully, he starts looking for the laces instead of the stripes on the ball.
Yeah. The AFC South. I have the Titans going 14-3 and winning the division. What about you?
Titans. I have them going 13-4, so pretty much the same. But I mean, with the addition of Julio Jones, it's gonna allow. What am I trying to say? It's
Tannehill?
gonna make it so that teams can't just stack the box against Derrick Henry this year. You
Yes.
can't just put 8 in the box this year because you got good receivers on the outside now.
Even last year, they had A.J. Brown, who emerged as the guy for them. So,
Right, but I mean, you can still put 8 in the box and only one receiver on the outside. But now that you got Julio out there with A.J. Brown, it's going to make things a hell of a lot more interesting for
yeah.
defenses.
Yeah, with the biggest concern, two biggest concerns I have with Tennessee is they lost their OC, who basically revived Tannehill's career. And their defense last year was basically non-existent. So I think they did improve from last year, but it's just a matter of will they show the improvement. Name-wise, they got better, is what I'm trying to say on their defensive side.
Yep, and hopefully Kevin Byard keeps going forward because that man is a monster.
He is.
I'm a big Kevin Byard guy.
The Colts. How do you feel about them?
See, this is interesting because the Colts could go either way. I mean, you could call it 7-10, but I have them going 11-6 because a defense is a solid year in and year out, no matter who they field on the defense. I mean, they're pretty consistent, but on offense, I mean, yes, they're missing T.Y. Hilton for the first couple weeks, I believe, but I think Carson Wentz will be able to step in there, and they still have Mo Alley Cox, they still have Michael Pittman. I think that alone should be able to win you 4 or 5 games.
Can't forget about Jonathan Taylor coming off the amazing second half of the season last year.
I forget running backs, man.
Yeah, well, except Dalvin Cook, it seems, and Derrick Henry.
No words.
But my biggest question with the Colts is Wentz. Like, he was the last 2 years he's been atrocious with the Eagles, but
yeah, he's question mark.
But with him reuniting with Frank Reich, I would hope that he shows improvement or back to what he was in his MVP quote unquote season. So
yeah,
like you said, the defense is good. They should be able to win games with just the defense and run game. But
they need to bring Pat McAfee back somehow, some way. They'll win 17 games then.
Oh, easy. If they bring back Pat McAfee, they're the best team in the league, hands down.
Absolutely.
The Jacksonville Jaguars.
I have them going 5-12. I think Trevor will end up having a pretty okay year. I don't think he'll be anything fantastic, but anytime you got DJ Chark and
Laviska
Shenault on your team, you should be able to win 3-4 games with a solid quarterback. And people forget that defense has got good pieces, but they just need to take that next step. It's a really young defense. I mean, I guess now they did just get rid of Schobert for next to nothing, right?
Yeah, but they do have a really good pass rush with Josh Allen, the defensive end, not the quarterback.
Yeah, Josh Allen.
They signed Shaquille Griffin this offseason.
Absolutely.
So I like the pieces they have on that defense. They also have Miles Jack still, so one of the better. He's a top 10 linebacker in the league, interior linebacker, I should say.
The defense has got pieces. I just gotta get the other 6-7 guys that played beside them to take that next step so they can be somewhat viable throughout the season.
Yeah, but after watching preseason, I think what people question about the Jags is Urban's ability to coach in the profession at the top level. We saw he wasn't that. He was opposite of good, let's just say.
Yeah, you can't come in here treating 40-year-old men like a bunch of college kids.
Yeah, so I think that's the biggest question. Will Urban be able to translate his game from college to NFL? And so far, at least in preseason, it hasn't looked like it's been able to.
If you can get that locker room to buy into him, I think he'll end up being pretty all right.
Yeah. And probably the worst team in the league. Most likely going to be the worst team in the league. the Houston Texans. Now, I've looked at their schedule. There is one team I think they could beat, but I don't think they will. I think that
Team being
the Lions. That that game is going to be the game for the number one pick. I guarantee it. There is no way in hell I see the Texans being able to beat anyone besides maybe the Lions.
I have them going 2-15, man. I mean, yes, they're a monstrosity of an organization at this point, but I think they could win. They could take one against the Jags. I think. I mean, it's not too long of a stretch because Jacksonville's really not anything special either.
But you look at Jacksonville, you see they have literally. You point to any position, Jacksonville's better.
Yeah, I'm just saying though. I mean, crazier things happen on Sundays.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so hard to lose every single game in the league. Even last year, the Jaguars won one.
they 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 won week one and just never looked. They just turned back immediately.
Absolutely. So I mean, you're always gonna win. I'm not gonna say always because obviously the Browns and Lions in that those 2 years, but you're gonna win one.
I personally don't think they will, but after looking at their schedule, I don't know who the hell they could beat. I don't know.
The other thing is they have Tyrod Taylor at quarterback.
Yeah, maybe for 2.5 weeks.
If there's one thing that Tyrod does good is he doesn't turn the ball over.
No, but he will give
Also,
you 2.5 weeks of good but not great offensive production, and he will get hurt, leading to the emergence of Davis Mills taking over the starting spot and leading them to promised land.
And he'll win 2 games.
Yeah. No.
There you go. These are 2 wins.
No, I don't see how the Texans will win any games. I'm sorry. Like they have nothing going for them.
I'm well aware they have nothing going for them. I mean, their one good player they got, Deshaun Watson, doesn't even want to play for them at this point. So.
And he's too busy getting some massages probably right now to even consider playing.
Just hanging out with Robert Kraft.
Absolutely. And the AFC East.
Yes.
I think this is a pretty easy division to pick out the winner.
I mean, you're gonna say Bills.
Of course. I have them 13-4.
You had to say Bills, but I mean, if Mac Jones comes out and balls out with Belichick's coaching abilities, a viable quarterback, they could finish within a game or 2 of Buffalo, I think.
I don't know if I trust Mac Jones that much to lead a playoff team. Granted, if you look around him, he has no true number one receiver.
Yeah.
I think that's just going to be the biggest hindrance of his season this year. He does
have Jonnu Smith and Hunter Henry there.
I guess, but you need someone to be able to just take the top off, and they don't exactly have that on the roster right now. At least I feel.
They still have Damiere Byrd.
I have no idea.
That guy's sneaky fast sometimes.
He is, but he's not gonna. I don't know if Mac Jones' go-to guys is going to be this tight ends and probably James White, but dinking and dunking can only take you so far. You need to be able to take the top off. And I don't know if they have the guy on the roster currently that could take the top off.
Yeah, I guess I can't think of anybody that would either. Yeah.
The defense is gonna be fine. The run game I like the combo.
And Dante Hightower back this year too.
They do. The offensive line is top 5 in the league probably.
Absolutely.
And I think Mac Jones will do good, but I don't know if he will be able to lead a very talentless wide receiver group to a playoff run.
Yeah, I mean it's possible though. I mean
it is.
Tom Brady did it for how many years?
Yeah, but if are we really going to be comparing Mac Jones to fucking Tom Brady?
No, but I mean, if one guy can do it, another guy could possibly do it, right?
All
He
right.
hasn't shown that he can't do it.
We've seen him only in preseason. Let's see him play a game, and maybe my opinion will change.
He already, he already looked at Cam Newton and said, "This is my team now."
Yeah, but that's Cam Newton. He has a lot of other stuff going on right now, like his fashion game.
And trying to type those Instagram captions. I don't know how that man does it.
I
That
don't
looks
know
like
either. Like what kind of
it would take some time.
that man is using so many accents. It's insane.
Oh,
Yeah, I know. I want to talk about the Dolphins real quick. I know you don't believe in Tua. You think he's just going to not perform well this year.
I
But
think he's gonna end up being a flop.
I I don't know why people are so quick to get off the Tua train. He had half a season. Granted, he did not look good. I'll just say that. He looked not good last year in the time he played. But he's now has a full year under his belt. He's been given every offensive weapon you could think of. Maybe the O-line's not up to snuff, but he doesn't need to be great in order for the Dolphins to succeed. I think he could be a top 15 to 16. He could be an upper top half QB, and he will lead the Dolphins to a lot of good seasons and potentially deep playoff runs.
I think his ceiling will be like 15th best quarterback.
Probably. I'm not denying that, but he doesn't need to be the guy in order for the Dolphins to win.
No, I agree.
Their defense is great. It's good. I think Brian Flores has done a great job coaching them up. And
Flores is a dog too.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Flores could honestly easily win Coach of the Year if one more good season with what he has on that roster. But like, Tua doesn't have to be the guy. I just want to keep on saying this because you draft a quarterback at 5, you want him to be like franchise altering, but sometimes you don't hit. But he's still a good player. So Tua could be Baker Mayfield-esque. Baker isn't the guy. He isn't the person running the offense, but he's good enough to win you games.
Do you remember a long time ago when the Vikings drafted Christian Ponder at 12?
Yeah.
Similar situation here, I feel. I don't think Tua will ever take that next step, and the biggest problem that Tua's going to have is he doesn't have an offensive line around him, so he's not really going to have time to develop that in the pocket.
I guess.
And I don't know. I feel like ever since his hip surgery, he hasn't been nearly as mobile. I could be wrong because I don't watch a whole lot of Dolphins football, but I haven't seen a whole lot of him scrambling since that hip injury.
No, you're right. Tua is not nearly as mobile, but
he needs to get out of his own head. I mean, he's just checking it down every time. Let her fly sometimes. I mean, come on, man.
Tua still is pretty accurate for a QB.
Oh, he's accurate, but he only throws 5-down checkdowns or 5-yard checkdowns.
I mean, look how far that took Drew Brees.
Oh shit! Here we go.
Anyway,
I know. I see what you're saying.
Yeah, we already talked about the Patriots and the Jets.
I think you know where I stand here on the Jets. I'm high on them.
You're high on Zachy?
4-13, baby.
Oh man, that's super high. I have been going 3-14. So
yeah, I think they'll win 4 or 5 games this year because I personally am a big believer in Zach Wilson. I think he'll end up being the best quarterback out of this draft long term. Maybe not short term because, obviously the Jets just aren't a talented team right now.
They don't exactly have that many weapons.
I mean, I think their number one receiver at this point is Elijah Moore, and he's a rookie, so we don't really know what we got.
I think it's Corey Davis, unless he's hurt, and I don't know.
I thought he got like COVID or something.
Did he?
I'm not 100% sure,
But anyway, that's besides the point. They don't exactly have anything offensively outside of Zach Wilson, and they just have to pray that Zach Wilson is the guy for them.
I know Frank Gore's not the running back there anymore, so I forget who the number one running back is at this point.
It's Tevin Coleman, I believe. I believe
Okay,
it's
so
Tevin
not
Coleman.
talented, not too terribly talented there either.
They also drafted a rookie from UNC, Michael Carter, I believe was
Oh,
his name.
Michael Carter Williams.
Yeah.
That guy could be something here in a couple of years once he gets his feet under him.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think the
guys,
Jets have a good future. They still have the draft capital they got from the Seahawks for Jamal Adams. So
and they got good quality draft picks this year. I mean, Elijah Moore, Zach Wilson. They
Elijah
got
Vera
Vera
Tucker.
Tucker, right?
Yeah, they got Vera
Yep.
Tucker.
And then that running back, Michael Carter Williams. I mean, those four could end up being big pieces in future runs down the road.
They also got Mekhi Becton from last year's draft too.
Yep.
Who else did they take last year? Because they didn't have another first. They had Seahawks first this year. The defense is the Quinn Williams, and that's the only person I could think of.
Marcus May.
Secondary. Yeah, like they have the pieces. They just need a few years to develop under Saleh in order for them to potentially be great.
They have one decent cornerback.
I think it's Brian Poole. I could be wrong though.
I think you're right.
Yeah, but it's the Jets. They shouldn't be near contending for at least 2 to 3 more years.
Probably not. No.
And onto the AFC West. I think we both have the Chiefs probably winning the AFC or coming atop the AFC.
I think that's a pretty fair bet, man.
I think that's probably the safest bet anyone could ever have, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like they just they are the opposite of the Jets. They have so much firepower on that team, it's insane.
Yeah, I mean, you still got Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce, Mecole Hardman, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Patrick Mahomes. You're gonna win games.
They have an entirely revamped O line too.
Entirely rebuilt offensive line.
So I have them going 15-2.
Yeah, me too.
All right.
I mean, they're gonna lose 2 games. I bet you one of those 2 losses probably week 17 when the starters aren't in.
I think I had the Raiders beating them 1 week just because why not? I think Raiders are good for that one game. It's like, oh no, wow, maybe the Raiders are actually something, and then it's just gonna be like, no.
I think the Raiders have a good track record against the Chiefs too.
They do. I think recently, yeah. I think they beat them last year too.
They did once.
Yeah, once, which is enough. Who do you have second place in the AFC West?
I actually have the Raiders.
What do you have them going?
10-7.
I have the Raiders finishing last in the AFC West at 5-12.
I got my Broncos way back. I don't think Teddy Bridgewater is the answer.
Oh, absolutely not. But I think Teddy will be good enough to win them games. He's not going to be able to. In order for the Broncos to win, they're going to have to get a lead early and just play physical, hard defense.
Yeah, I mean, their defense is going to be pretty solid. They got Bradley Chubb. They got Von Miller still. They got Justin Simmons. I don't know who they got at corner. I can't remember.
They just signed Kyle Fuller. They had Bryce Callahan last year, and they drafted Patrick Surtain.
Yep.
So their cornerbacks are looking nice.
The secondary room is pretty loaded.
Yeah, they have a good pass rushing group too.
So the defense should be top tier in the league.
Oh yeah, it's going to be easily top 10 defense if they stay healthy.
Yep.
But like you said, they are QB or Teddy is not the guy. He's not going to be the guy. I feel like they're going to regret passing up on Fields, but
Drew Lock's not the guy either. So
no.
they got. I mean, in my opinion, they got to sell out for Aaron Rodgers next year,
or give up everything for Deshaun if he's able to play.
But then you're just not there anymore.
Yeah. Where do you have the Chargers going? I have them 10-7, being borderline playoffs.
9-8, missing the playoffs.
Any reason why you have them going 9-8, specifically at least?
I don't think Herbert will be as effective as he was last year. I think he'll be good. I just don't think he'll be great. But yeah, Keenan Allen back because I don't think he was there last year for a while, was he?
No, he played most of last year.
Or was it Mike Williams that was hurt?
I think they were pretty healthy offensively. Might be. I have no. I think most of the offensive pieces was healthy.
I'm not thinking of them. I'm not thinking of them. But I don't know. I just don't think Justin Herbert will be nearly as effective. I think they will play a little bit stiffer defense on them, and I mean they do have Derwin back this year. That's a big add.
It is.
They didn't have Derwin last
They
year. I
haven't
don't
had
know who they
Derwin
are.
the last 2 years,
Right.
and his presence has been severely missed by the Chargers defense.
But they still have Casey Hayward down there in.
No, they cut him because they drafted Asante Samuel Jr. in the draft.
That's right. I think he'll be a good pick.
Yeah, they have Chris Harris and Asante Samuel as their corners.
Yeah, I think those two will be a good duo throughout the season.
They should be.
I don't think they'll be. I don't think Asante Samuel will be great this year. I think they might be 2-3 years out from him being great.
Yeah,
But
you should turn into at least a top 20 corner. At least
he should.
hopefully he turns into a top 20 corner.
His potential's there.
I've been going 10-7. I don't know if I already said that, but Justin Herbert, I think he'll do better because last year he had, I think, statistically the worst rated offensive line in the league. They picked up Corey Linsley from the Packers. They drafted Rashawn Slater. So
they were worse than the Vikings.
Yeah, they were atrocious last year on the offensive line.
Justin.
Yeah, so I feel.
Worse than the Bengals.
Yeah, I think with all they just got basically a new offensive line that should be able to protect Herbert. Even if it's slightly better, I think he will perform similarly to last year. And with the new head coach that's being able to, I think was the Rams DC, if I remember correctly. I think he'll be able to provide good defense for the Chargers going forward. So
at least he didn't have to move houses.
Yeah, thank God for him. Now on to the NFC.
Yeah, this is where I like to watch my football.
All right. Let's start where you like watching football in the NFC North. Cody.
Yeah, what about it?
How about them Lions? I want to start with the Lions because I want to talk about how bad they are.
1-16, baby. I think they'll be worse than the Texans.
Yup. I have them being their only win coming against the Texans.
Their receiving core has got to be the worst receiving core I've seen ever.
I can't think of the number one receiver. Is it Amar St. Brown?
Probably, yeah. Or Quintez Cephas or Cephas or...
Yeah. The only bright spot on that team is Hawkinson and Sewell. But Sewell hasn't even looked good in preseason. Didn't even look good in preseason.
My thing is when Goff was in LA with the Rams, he had people like Robert Woods, he had Tyler Higbee, he had Cooper Kupp around him. And he still couldn't win a lot of football games. So now he's going to come to Detroit
with no talent outside of Hawkinson.
P.J. Hawkinson. That's it.
I mean, there's DeAndre Swift, but he's too busy killing some other stuff.
That's fake news.
Is it?
Yeah, it was. From what I've heard, it's pretty much shut down. That's fake.
All right, but I'll just keep an eye on that. Maybe he's maybe killing defenses isn't the only thing he's killing.
Can't wait to see what Dan Campbell has to say about that.
Yeah. Maybe that's where Dan Campbell gets his kneecaps from. Who knows?
Who do you have winning the division?
Green Bay. I think that's pretty easy.
Easy, huh?
Yeah. No competition in the NFC North. Absolutely none.
I think there's good competition between. I'm not going to say the Bears because, unfortunately, I think Matt Nagy's going to go with Andy Dalton for an extended period of time.
I have that written down too. Like they're not winning with Dalton. They're going to stick with him for far too long, and when they bring in Fields, it's going to be too late for him to save the season.
Andy Dalton in there till week 10 or whatever. They're going to be 2-8, and then at that point, it's going to be way too late for Justin Fields to do anything.
Yeah. So.
But I think the Vikings. They've completely rebuilt that defense. I mean, he added Patrick Peterson. Chris Boyd has taken a step forward this year.
Also, he shut down Allen Robinson, didn't he? in a meaningless game.
Yeah. If you look back at the tape on that, though, he's only allowed 2 catches for 20 yards or something like that. The other 90 or other 71 yards comes from other corners. But you got Patrick Peterson, you got Chris Boyd. Secondary, you got Xavier Woods is a nice addition from Dallas, and then you got Harrison Smith on the other side of him. I mean, that defensive line's pretty stacked now. Danielle Hunter. We're starting DJ Wanham on the other side, but you got Everson Griffin close behind him. Then on our tackles, you got Delvin Tomlinson, Michael Pierce, and Sheldon Richardson. So
Sheldon Richardson is back in Minnesota.
yeah, he's their number 3 D tackle right now.
Mm.
So we got some big boys up front on defense. We drafted Christian Darrisaw, but obviously they drafted Christian Darrisaw, but obviously he's dealing with a little groin injury or something like that, so he's not going to be playing week 1. But hopefully he's back soon. That offensive line's got Brian O'Neill locked up for the next few years now.
Wasn't that like some stupidly long contract and basically overpaid?
5 years, $92.5 million.
Yeah, that's might be the worst contract I've ever seen.
Hey, he's performed as one of the best right tackles in the league, so you got to pay him as such.
I guess, but like that is a lot of money for a average at best offensive lineman.
Now here's the controversy here: is I think Kirk Cousins is gonna. I'll save this for later in the show, but I think Kirk Cousins is gonna have himself a great year.
Oh, you say that, but what do you have them going?
11-6.
I have them 10-7, so we're not too far off.
I have
a lot of reasons you brought up. Their defense is, back from IR. So yeah, they have a top 5 wide receiver duo and a top 5 running back. I think Kirk is
anytime
top.
You have any of those guys,
Kirk, I think, will prove a lot of people wrong. He might not win at you primetime games, but he'll be fine.
Hey, this could be the start of something new.
We didn't really touch on the Packers, but there's not really much to talk about because this is their last dance. So
there's not really much to talk about the Packers. I mean, the defense will be average.
Fine. It'll be above average, I think.
You think so? I mean, they just got Jair Alexander.
Yeah, I think they'll be around the. I think they'll be 10 to 13 range for their defense.
Okay, I can see that.
And man, as long as Aaron Rodgers stays upright, they'll be fine. That's about
Anthony Barr's hurt, so you can't do that.
Oh yeah, so unfortunate that Anthony Barr or Ndamukong Suh isn't going to be able to take out Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, no kidding.
And the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
15-2.
I had 14-3, but they easily could go 15-2. Like
they could easily go 17-0. Honestly,
I don't think they will.
I don't think they will. That's why I'm at 15-2. But anytime you return all 22 starters, and anytime you come out of the gate looking decent, the defense looked kind of suspect this year.
The defense looked not good at all. So
I expect some adjustments to be made next week and going forward. I think they'll be playing better. But anytime you have Tom Brady, you're in every single football game, and with the receiving core that he's got and the running backs behind him, which granted on Thursday the running backs almost choked that game away, but
absolutely,
it's neither here nor there. But anytime you give Tom Brady some receivers like he's got down there in Tampa right now, you're gonna win a lot of football games.
Yeah. Like you said, they brought back all 22 starters, and the division could be an easy 6-0.
Oh, absolutely.
The division most of the division is kind of rebuilding. So
yeah. Speaking
of the rest of the division, who do you have number 2? I have the Falcons at 9-8.
Actually, I have the Saints.
You have the Saints?
Yes. I have the Saints going 9-8. Strictly because I think Jameis Winston is actually a very good quarterback, as long as he can keep that turnover rate down.
I mean, I have them going 5-12. They probably will finish closer to 500 than 5-12, but I think Jameis will cost them more games than he will win them. With his ability to sling it a little bit better than Drew Brees has been able to.
I like his connection with Marquez Callaway. That's pretty good. I mean, obviously they got better receivers there than that. And Michael Thomas will be back after it sounds like 5 or 6 weeks.
I think he's out till like week 8 because I think they put him on IR or something.
I thought it was week 7 because they're bye week 6.
Oh, I have no idea. He's
IR,
missing about half of the year though, is what we're getting
yeah,
at. But I think at
right.
I think by that time, Jameis is just gonna have thrown a little too many picks and thrown too many games for them.
I said it's all dependent on how many interceptions Jameis Winston
It
throws.
is because I don't know because last time Jameis was starting, he threw 30-30, which is insane. How do you this dude threw averaged almost 2 picks a game?
Yeah, people forget that. I mean, he threw for 5,200 yards and 30
It was like,
some
he threw
touchdowns.
for over 5K and like 30 something touchdowns.
Yeah, I mean,
But at the same time, he threw 30 picks.
But if he can keep that pick count down,
But
just keep to that 5,200 yards and 30 touchdowns, I mean, he'll be looking nice.
I don't know if he will though.
This is LASIK surgery.
Oh yeah, you're right. I forgot he had LASIK surgery recently.
Yeah, so, LASIK, so he's good.
Yeah, I think one of the a team also in this division that made a pretty big move this offseason was the Panthers getting Sammy Darnold.
It'll be interesting to see how he plays this year, because obviously I'm not going to say the Jets was a good judgment of Sam Darnold just because he struggled to have any sort of talent around him. And the one little bit of talent he had in Robbie Anderson is now with him in Carolina, and he's got a couple other guys around there as well. I think he's got DJ Moore, right?
And CMC.
And CMC. So I think he'll take a step up. I don't know how far up, and I don't know if he'll be 2 steps maybe, but
what do you have them going?
He should be better this year. What's that?
What do you have the record being?
I see them being not 5-12. I was just looking at the Falcons, but I can see them being a 10-7 kind of team. 10-7, 11-6.
I have them going 7-10, and like I think Darnold will show that he is the guy that the Jets wanted with the 3rd overall pick. I just think the Jets did such an atrocious job at surrounding him with literally anything that his value just plummeted, and he's being seen as a potential bust. But I think this is like a more similar to the whole Josh Rosen situation, except Darnold was given a chance to play.
Right. And isn't the Carolina defense not anything special this year?
They have a lot of good pieces. They drafted J.C. Horn. I knew that. They have Brian Burns, who's been a pretty good pass rush for them. They drafted Derek Brown last year, who's been a good defensive tackle for them. They have Jeremy Chin.
So it's another one of those Jacksonville type defenses.
Yeah, they're like Jacksonville, but with an older quarterback that needs to prove himself that that he can be the quarterback for them.
So they got those pieces down there that you need to get the other guys to take one more step.
Yeah, gotcha. They just need their defense to develop is basically it. And as long as Sam Darnold proves that he can be the guy, they should be. Once Brady and Matt Ryan retire, they should be fine.
Absolutely.
On to what was the worst division last year, the Nfc East.
Oh, let me talk about a division.
Surprising. Like I said, I'm glad we did this today because what the Cowboys showed on Thursday changed my predictions a lot. I'll be honest.
I think it's gonna be a dogfight in the NFC East. Honestly,
I think it'll be the football team and the Cowboys fighting for the top spot. I don't.
You don't think the Eagles have any shot?
No, I don't believe in Jalen Hurts.
Oh, okay.
And I don't think Danny Dimes is the guy.
I don't think Danny Jones is the answer down there either. I just think I don't want to say they need to blow it up, but they need to find something new down there because what they got working right now isn't working.
luckily for them, they have the draft capital to move up if they should need to.
Yep, and they do have nice pieces on offense. I mean, they have Saquon, they have Kenny Galladay now, they have Sterling Shepard still.
Darius Slayton, they drafted. I don't know how to say his first name, but Tooney. Like they are giving. They also signed Kyle Rudolph. They are giving Daniel Jones no excuses now. If he does not perform to snuff, he's out.
Absolutely.
He's gone after this season if he does not play well.
He's looking a whole lot like Mitch Trubisky here.
Yeah. Well, I think Mitchell didn't have this much talent around him. Offensively, at least.
Could argue for it, but yeah.
Yeah. I have the Eagles and Giants both going 3-14.
Yeah, you're probably pretty close on that. I think the Eagles will be a little better. I think they could be a 6-11 type of team, but if Jalen Hurts balls out this year, they could be a winning record type of team too.
Yeah.
The Eagles are just so weird.
Yeah. I think 3-14 is me not believing Jalen Hurts. If Jalen Hurts proves me wrong, they could easily be 500 or around 500 because there is no more 500.
And there's also they're not going to win double-digit games this year, I don't think.
No, absolutely not.
I think the winner of the division will end up being 10-7, honestly.
You know, surprisingly, I have the Cowboys and the football team both going 12-5. I know, shocking. Like I was looking at the schedule. I picked the games. They're like, this could easily happen. They play in a weak division. They have to worry about only each other. The football team got Fitzmagic, who will win and lose them games, similar to Jameis. But their defense is top 3 easily.
Absolutely.
And they
Chase
have
Young's a beast.
Yeah, he is. Montez Sweat, Jonathan Allen. I'm trying to think of other people on that defense. Cam Curl.
So Matt Ioannidis down there.
I think not. Maybe I have no idea. But they have the pieces. Their defense is just insane. And with Ron Rivera there, it should only be getting better. The offense is kind of suspect with Fitzmagic there. I think he will bring the magic when needed. But I like the running. I like the run game with Antonio Gibson out there.
Yeah,
they have a true number 1 in Terry McLaurin, and I think they will be good. I have them going 12-5.
We both agree on everything that you just said.
And the Cowboys, if we did this before Thursday night, I would have had them going around like 8-9, 9-8, something like that. But the
Prescott looks like he's back.
He does. That's why I changed my prediction, because that Cowboys offense looked amazing.
Dak is back.
They did that against a Tampa Bay defense, which some people consider top 3 in the league.
That linebacking core for Tampa Bay is that's something else down there.
That defense, the front 7 for Tampa is insane.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what the Cowboys were able to do against that defense, I think Dak only got sacked once, maybe?
Yeah.
And like that against Shaq Barrett, Vita Vea, Ndamukong Suh, JPP, that's impressive. I think they have possibility to win the division at 12-5.
I'm not gonna let you forget Devin White.
Oh yeah, Devin White, Levante David, like all those guys, like being able to put what they put up 28 or something.
29, yeah.
Yeah,
39-21 or 31-29.
If they had a reliable kicker, they would have won that game.
Yeah. Greg the Leg.
Yeah.
Shit his pants.
Speaking of Greg the Leg, let's talk about his former team, the Rams. And the NFC West as a whole.
I know you're not sold on the Rams.
I know you're not either. Don't just pin this on me. We both have them going 10-7.
Yeah.
I don't view Stafford as the savior, as every Rams fan does.
But that's just because I see that division just beating each other up.
Yeah.
I think a lot of their losses are going to be to each other.
Absolutely. I think most of the losses within the NFC West will be within the NFC West.
Yeah.
NFC West is
Eh,
hands down the best division of the league.
minus the Cardinals, I see them losing a lot of games this year outside of the NFC West.
Yeah, but the Cardinals are notoriously known as the NFC West killers for some reason. They play extremely well against literally everyone in the NFC West for no reason.
Yeah.
But I have the Seahawks going 14-3 in the NFC West. They could easily be 12-5, but
I'm going 11-6.
all right. Calm.
I just don't.
Calm
I'm
down.
not. Calm down. Listen here. No, that defense at times last year looked very suspect. I mean, it was terrible at times, but then at other times it was really good.
Last year is such a weird year to compare it to because last year, the first half of last year, no one could stop the offense, but they couldn't cover.
No.
They couldn't cover a nosebleed. They couldn't stop a nosebleed. In the second half, they were LOB-esque, and defensively, offensively, they looked like. Trying to think of a good comparison. Bad. They looked horrendous offensively.
Horrible.
They looked horrible offensively the second half of the year. For some
I
reason.
think the only team, the second half of the year, the only team that they even looked good against was the Jets.
Yeah. Like, none of their wins were convincing besides the Jets win. The second half of the year. But hopefully the new OC brings much needed creativity to the offense.
Yeah.
And now the Niners. We both know how decimated they were by injuries last year.
Oh, they were. Last year's Niners team is not even comparable to this year's Niners team.
I think we have to compare them to the Super Bowl run Niners team because that's a more adequate comparison.
Right. I don't think they'll make a Super Bowl run this year just because there's a lot of other teams.
I think the division is so much better that it's just going to be hard for them to make a Super Bowl run.
Absolutely. And then, I mean, who do they get back? They got Kittle back healthy. They got Bosa back.
Those are the only two names I could think of, but they were decimated by injuries last year, so.
I think a couple of their cornerbacks were injured last year as well, but I think they're back healthy, ready to go.
Yeah.
They don't have the Richard Sherman back this year.
Yeah, he's too busy breaking indoors, it seems. So.
Okay, yeah, that sounds about right.
But what do you have the Niners going? I have them 11-6 with a fully healthy roster.
9-8, but I have all the records for the NFC West lower just because of
they will be at each other's throats the entire season.
Yeah, it's such a good division where I think it'll be 1-1 against everybody all around.
Yeah. All right, so those are our season predictions. Quickly take us through your AFC playoffs.
AFC playoffs. Chiefs will grab the 1 seed. That's kind of a gimme. I mean, they're probably gonna walk away with that. But I have the Browns closely on their heels, finishing 1 game worse than the 2 seed. And the Titans will slide to the 3 seed. I think that I believe in Julio and I believe in A.J. Brown, both having phenomenal years this year. And then to round out the top 4, I'm going to have the Bills.
All right. I have the Chiefs at number 1, of course. I have the Titans at 2 at 14-3. I think they'll just be able to run through everyone literally and figuratively. Bills at 3 and Ravens at 4, winning the AFC North.
Yeah.
I have my
wild.
I have the Ravens at 4.
Okay, yeah.
I have my wild cards being Colts, Browns, and Dolphins in that order.
My wild card is going to be Ravens, Pats, and Raiders.
All right. And quickly,
I think both Pats and Raiders will be able to slide their way in there.
I think the Pats are more likely to do so than the Raiders, but that's just me.
I mean, you're probably right.
All right, and take us through your NFC.
I think it'll be kind of a gimme that the Bucks will get the 1 seed. Packers will grab 2, Cowboys 3, and probably Seahawks round 4.
I have the Bucks at 1. I have the Bucks, Packers, and Seahawks 1, 2, 3, but they're all 14-3. And I have the football team winning the division at 12-5. For the wild card, I have Cowboys, Niners, and Rams. What about you for your wild card?
In order from 5 to 7, I have Vikings football team, and then I didn't put a name for 7, but if it's gonna be somebody, it's gonna be whoever finishes runner up in that NFC West.
Probably.
And I can't put a name there because I couldn't. It could be any one of those 3 teams. So
Yeah, that makes sense. I feel like NFC West will bring in a lot of playoff teams.
I think it'll be 2.
I think I got 3, but that's just me.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's go on to our season award predictions. Let's start with the off. No, let's start with the rookies.
Okay.
Go first.
Defensive Rookie of the Year. I think it has the potential to be Micah Parsons. He has impressed a lot of people around Dallas. He played pretty good this week, and I think he's a very solid pick for DPOI or
D-Roy.
DROI.
D-Roy.
DROI.
I would have picked Micah Parsons, but I wanted to be different, so I went with Kwity Paye. I think he's going to be able.
Right?
What was that?
For the Colts, right?
Yeah, I think he'll provide a good pass rush for them. He's not going to be the guy being blocked on pass rushes because that honor goes to DeForest Buckner. So I think that might should free him up for probably potentially leading all rookies in sacks.
Well, he's also got Darius Leonard down there too.
Yeah, that too. Their defense is really good all around.
Yeah.
So I think Kwity Paye will be able to provide speed off the edge for that defense. Now, Roy.
For me, Olroy is got to be Zach Wilson, but that's all dependent on how well Elijah Moore plays. If Elijah Moore comes out and balls out and allows Zach Wilson to play well and play well within the offense that he's given, I think that he could surprise a lot of people with his abilities. Oh no. Oh man, you're a goon. No, no, I ain't denying it. I'm just saying that's hilarious. Tyrod Taylor is the most unlucky man around the NFL. Yeah, who's more unlucky, Josh Rosen or Tyrod Taylor?
Probably Josh Rosen because he only got to play one season.
Fair assessment.
And not even one season. He got played half a season.
Yeah. Yeah, then he got pulled for some other guy that really stood no chance in the NFL either.
Yeah, like Josh Rosen is just the symbol of bad luck in the NFL. Anyway.
Hopefully, he learns a few things down in Tampa.
Is he back in Tampa? No, he's in Atlanta.
That's what I meant, Atlanta.
Yeah. But for real, my offensive rookie of the year is Kyle Pitts. Generational tight end talent. I just think he's going to flourish in that new Atlanta offensive scheme.
Absolutely.
Now for Opoy.
Derrick Henry, baby.
You think he's gonna break any records with an extra game?
I think he'll break 2K again.
Yeah, I think that's an easy bet.
I think he'll break. I think he'll be right around the 2,200 range. I'm not sure.
I think that's record, isn't it?
I think it's 2,206 if I remember correctly. I think that's what it was when Adrian Peterson was trying to get it.
9 yards away. What was it? Or
It was
7?
9 or 6, something
Yeah,
like that.
it was single digits away.
So, yep. So, I think he'll be flirting with it. I don't think he will. Or I think he has a chance, a legitimate chance at breaking that record. And if he breaks that record, yeah, it's going to be kind of hard to deny him of Offensive Player of the Year.
Similarly, I have Christian McCaffrey. I think he has the potential to go for 15-15. So
15 touchdowns off receiving and rushing.
I was thinking more 1,500 yards receiving and rushing.
Oh.
But also 15-15 in terms of rushing and receiving touchdowns. I think he's just going to have a monster year. I think Darnold.
He's kind of got to.
Yeah, I think he's going to be Darnold's go-to guy with the dump offs and stuff.
Has to for that team to be successful.
Yeah. So I would not be surprised if he just explodes, similar to how he did 2 years ago before he got hurt. And now, do you want to talk about MVP or comebacks and other stuff real quick?
We didn't do Depoy.
We did. Oh, shit, yeah, we didn't. Oh, who's Depoy for you?
TJ Watt. You know, it's kind of hard to go against just saying Aaron Donald because
it is Aaron Donald.
Chances are, if you just say Aaron Donald, you're probably going to be correct.
Yeah.
But for the interest, I think TJ Watt will give a lot of offenses headaches all year. He's got paid. He's motivated. He's ready to go.
I will say I thought TJ Watt should have won it last year, but that's neither here nor there. I have Myles Garrett winning, and he's probably the best defensive end in the league. I'm saying defensive end and not edge because their edge group is insane. It is. It's because TJ Watt and Myles Garrett are both edge rushers, but one's a defensive end and one's a linebacker. So.
Right, if you want to talk edge, then you gotta start talking Chandler Jones.
Yeah, and like Khalil Mack and the other position, all the other pass rushing edge rushers.
Yep.
So, I don't want to get in. That's a topic of debate for another day, not today. So, MVP or comeback? You want to finish on MVP?
Comeback.
Yeah. All right, I have Dak.
I think we both got Dak. I mean, it's pretty obvious.
Even before Thursday, I would have picked Dak, but I think Thursday's shown how much Dak is back.
And if you look at last year's comeback player of the year, Alex Smith, it's also got to have some kind of a story or something. I feel like
I think Alex Smith last year was just such a. It was like Eric Berry a few years ago, or whenever last Eric Berry played, because Eric Berry came back from cancer. And Alex Smith came back from life-threatening injury. So, I think those are like outliers you can't really compare. I think you have to look back like a normal comeback player of the year.
Adrian Peterson. I'll compare him to Adrian Peterson.
Did he win? Did he win comeback player of the year?
Yeah, the year after he tore his ACL.
Oh, yeah.
He almost broke the rushing record.
Yeah. Comeback player and MVP. Good for him.
Absolutely.
But you can't compare this comeback player of the year award to last year's because it was two different stories. But after Thursday, I think Dak is going to win it, barring him getting injured again.
Barring him destroying his ankle.
Yeah.
Round 2.
Yeah, his other ankle this time. And for Coach of the Year, I just kind of went with surprise record or surprise team that kind of was high on my predictions. I went with Mike Vrabel.
Any reason for that?
For my predictions, I had them going 14-3, and I know some people don't think Tennessee's gonna be doing that good this year for some reason, but give it to Mike Vrabel. Why not?
I'm gonna give it to Matt LaFleur. I think he's gonna do a lot of really good things with Aaron Rodgers this year. I know they got a really tight connection with each other. I know the media doesn't want to believe that, but they do.
All right.
They do. And I think that with having Devontae Adams in the offense will even make it even harder to go against him.
Yeah. All right. So we have our MVP, but also we have the dark horse MVP. Should we go dark horse MVP first?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
For me, I have Baker Mayfield. I think he has the potential with all that offensive talent to just pop off, and I wouldn't be surprised if he ends up with the extra game thrown for like 45 and 4,500, 45 touchdowns type stuff.
Right. And you got Odell back this year, so that would help him.
Yeah, so.
I'm going to disagree with you. I'm going with a different quarterback that has hit a lot of offensive talents around him. And you're going to look a whole lot like this guy holding that MVP award. But
I really appreciate how you had that on deck.
Thielen, anytime you got Adam Thielen, you got Justin Jefferson, you got Delvin Cook, you should put up good numbers. But if that defense can play good this year and keep him off the field and keep the offensive unit well rested throughout the entirety of the game, and that offensive line plays as well as I think they're going to play this year, I think you have to throw Kirk Cousins' name around there a little bit.
Yeah, I could see that happening. Just him just popping off insane this year. Now, for the actual MVP predictions, I'll let you go first.
Right after I said Kirk Cousins, I'm gonna have to say Aaron Rodgers. I mean, you can't bet against the guy. He's going off on the last dance or whatever you want to call it. But you guys got Devontae Adams. He's got Bobby Tunyon out there. He's got Valdez Scantling. Yeah. I mean, the defense is going to be solid. It's going to keep him in a lot of games. The offensive line, it's going to be interesting to see how they play. I know they got Bakhtiari on the IR right now.
I will say, I think they will miss Corey Lindsey.
They will miss Corey Lindsey 100%. Yeah. They got some good pieces there that, at the end of the day, Aaron Rodgers will probably be just fine.
All right. For my MVP, I'm going with Russell Wilson. At this point, I just want Russ to get a single MVP vote. So, hopefully with new offensive scheme, that would hopefully bring creativity to the offense, he's able to just go bonkers and just put the whole league on notice that, he deserved at least one MVP vote until now. So
yeah, I guess he's saving all those votes for this year then, I guess, right?
Yeah. He's going to unanimous MVP, calling it now.
Cashing it in right now.
He's cashing in all those missed MVP votes for right now.
Absolutely.
All right. So, that is our season preview. But we still have week 1 to look to. So, Cody, I'm just going to quickly give you a game, or give you the games, and you just tell me who you have winning, all right? All right. Seahawks, Colts.
Seahawks.
All right, me too. Jags, Texans.
Jags, Texans. Texans.
I have Jags.
Texans, baby.
Eagles, Falcons.
Falcons.
All right, I have Eagles winning. Steelers, Bills. Bills too. Browns, Chiefs. This is good. I think this will be the game of the week.
Browns, Chiefs, huh?
Yeah.
I'm hoping Browns, but I can't bet against Patrick Mahomes week 1.
Yeah. That Chiefs is a safe bet, but I think it will be a very good game, hopefully.
Absolutely.
Dolphins, Pats.
Pats.
I have Dolphins. Ravens, Raiders.
Ravens. I think Lamar Jackson will still torch that defense.
Oh, absolutely. The defense is basically non-existent for them still. Vikings, Bengals.
Vikings by 30.
I have the Bengals. No, I'm kidding. I have the Vikings. Chargers football team.
I'll go football team.
Same. Jets, Panthers.
Panthers.
Yep. Cards, Titans.
Titans.
Broncos, Giants.
Broncos.
Yep. Niners, Lions.
Niners.
Uh,
I was gonna throw something at you to see what you would say, but
if you wanted to get a reaction out of me, you should have picked Colts. Packers, Saints.
Packers.
Yep, easy. And Bears, Rams.
Rams.
Yeah. So we're pretty
Only
similar.
because they have Andy Dalton.
Yeah. I think even with Justin Fields, they would have lost.
Probably.
But we're pretty similar on most of these. I think you had the Texans winning, the Pats winning, and the Falcons winning. I think those are the only three we disagreed on.
Right.
So, I think that's a show.
Yes, sir.
All right. So, and we will be reviewing the week 1 games either Tuesday or Wednesday, whenever it will go live. But yeah. Thank you for watching. And Cody, say goodbye.
Y'all have a wonderful first week 1 football NFL Sunday.
Bye-bye.